All right, and we are recording. This is episode 7, I believe, of Peaked in
Lucky
College.
seven.
It's tough because it's been about 3 months since we did the last episode, but I'm pretty sure this is episode 7. So I usually don't go through and edit anything. So if I post it and it's not episode 7, I apologize to our viewers. But hey, we're rolling into episode 7 here, Craig.
Chat can correct it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we made it. We apologize. I've been on sabbatical, learning about Zoom show, radio or YouTube shows, and how to be a better host. So that's where I've been. Hopefully, the show's better than ever.
Yeah. No, I think this is going to be a good one. I think it's. I have a good feeling about it. Good vibes.
And you've been on sabbatical trying to learn how to smile better, right?
I have. I did give one smile for your birthday in celebration of you. I just kind of was sitting by myself and I just ear to ear for you, Craig.
It's already one more smile than you had last year.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so as you can tell, it's flannel season, right? So it's fall. It's currently October 18th. The weather is getting perfect. I love the fall weather. It's officially flannel season. It's football season. You just love to see it.
It's almost basketball season too.
Yeah, I think it's a little too early for that. I knew you'd be excited about it, and you're repping the T-Wolves right now, but I think it's just too early.
7th seed incoming in the West. Put it on your calendars.
You think
T-Wolves are going to be the 7th seed in the West.
You think they're sneaking into the playoffs?
I think they're the 9 seed going into the playing game. I think they get a spot.
All right, I think that's fair. I think that they have a lot of up and coming talent that I believe in them.
Yeah.
You still got that old T-Wolves rain jacket that I gave you?
That is sick. Yes. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'll wear that next episode.
Okay, good.
I recorded outside and it's raining. That was a great thrift find.
Yeah, it really was. I knew you'd be the perfect man to give it to, I guess. I don't know.
Have you gone with your girlfriend to take any like pumpkin patch pictures yet?
No pumpkin patches.
Any of those like leaving throws?
No, but that is a good idea. That would be good for the gram if I put on some leggings and some Uggs and just threw some leaves in the air.
Yeah.
What about you? Have you got any fall pics? Like in the corn, laying down in the big pit of corn.
It's weird because in Louisville, it's like been super warm. Like today was the first like brisk day. It's been like 70, 80 degrees every day. So like the leaves aren't even really turning colors yet. And it's weird.
Yeah. Do you get like a real great fall experience down there? I guess I keep forgetting that you don't live like in the Midwest anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it's gorgeous. I mean, Louisville's super green. It's the bluegrass state. So everything's really, really green. Even though it's a bluegrass state, but I guess it's a green blue. So it's, really vibrant color. And then it does turn really, really color pretty in the fall, but it just seems like it's late this year.
Okay. Yeah. I got to remember that you're not on the same timeline as me because it was like 45 degrees on my bike ride to work this morning. So it's officially brisk here in Iowa City, Iowa.
Liberal David bikes to work every day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, whatever. So football season, you're cheering for the Vikings. How do you feel? We're I think 6 weeks into the season. Where are you at emotionally with your Minnesota Vikings?
Man, it's a roller coaster. It's been a fun season so far. It's been really frustrating. I think I'm probably a little more optimistic than most Vikings fans.
No way. You don't say that you're optimistic about something?
No, but when it comes to Vikings, I'm generally not. But like the Vikings, they've had some bad losses and some ugly wins, but they've also like lost 2 games that they really shouldn't, like fluke plays. Like they missed a 27-yarder to win and they fumbled on their like 30-yard line in overtime. Like those are things when you lose a couple of games by one play, especially against like a good team like the Cardinals, I'm not panicking. Do I think the Vikings are a contender right now? No, but I think they're a playoff team, and if they get hot, they have the weapons.
I think that they could, as much as I don't like the Vikings, I don't like them less than I don't like the Packers, but I think they could easily be 5-1 at this point. Like, yeah, they've had a couple just slip through their fingers or just, piss it down their leg, and it's just unfortunate.
Exactly. And like, again, like good football teams don't do that. But I think that, it's promising that they haven't been blown out by teams. So that's where I'm at. But we've got a lot of big games coming up. Where are you at with the Bears?
I really we got to get Coach Nagy out of there. I'm all in on Justin Fields. He's having some growing pains, which is totally fine with me. I mean, the Packers game, he had a couple hiccups, but really, I mean, a couple calls didn't go our way. They went the Packers' way. Surprise, surprise.
He owns you.
Yeah, whatever. But I think, Aaron Rodgers is on his way out. Like, yeah, he may own us now, but he's getting old. He's not as timeless as Tom Brady, and he's more emotional than Tom Brady. I think he's on his way out. He's going to host Jeopardy or something. So once he's out of there, I think it's, green pastures and bright skies for Chicago Bears football.
Maybe we can invite him on the show. He'd be a good guest.
Yeah, I really don't want to see his face on my computer.
Yeah, me neither.
His stupid ponytail.
Bad idea. I admit it. My bad.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay, so we're both pretty devastated about our team's current status. College football, you're a Minnesota Gophers fan, aren't you? Kind of, or just
kind of, yeah. I've watched a snippet of most games, but haven't sat down for a full game yet.
Have you gone to a Louisville game yet?
Not yet. UK's the team to be in Kentucky right now. They're ranked 11th, so I've watched actually more of their games than U of L.
Yeah. You know who Louisville's backup quarterback is? Christian McCaffrey's little brother.
Really? I didn't know that.
Transferred from Nebraska.
Interesting.
Shout out Nebraska fans. They lost Christian McCaffrey's little brother because Scott Frost needed to play Adrian Martinez. Yeah. That is unfortunate. He's like a 7th-year senior. You know what you're going to get out of those kind of guys. Like, it's the same problem that I have being an Oregon Duck fan, because we keep starting Anthony Brown, who is a 6-year senior transfer from Boston College. You know what you're going to get out of those guys. Like, they're not going to blow you away with any, surprise talent that they've been hiding for 6 years. So if whatever they have is not enough, they got to go to the bench.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's it like being a Ducks fan right now?
It's tough. I mean, it's okay. Sometimes I get greedy because we are, I think, 5-1 at this point, and just the wins that we do have look kind of ugly, especially as of late. We beat Ohio State, but a lot has changed since then. Lost to Stanford when we should have easily beat them. Barely beat Cal, who was 1-4. So I think things, we're struggling from the quarterback side of things, but a ton of injuries. So if people can get healthy, I think things will start looking better, but we'll see what happens.
Well, best of luck.
Being a college football fan is tough because you lose one game and your season's pretty much shot.
Yeah.
If you're not like an Alabama or Georgia or one of those teams.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I'm not as big of a fan. It's just kind of hard to. I don't know. I like the nature of making the playoffs, and I just like that structure more in the NFL, where you can be a slightly above average team, and if you get hot at the right time, you've got a chance.
Yeah, I mean, the Bears were 8-8 last year and made the playoffs. Like,
right.
I mean, you go 500 in college football, you're not even going to get a bowl game.
Right.
And speaking of terrible, devastating losses, shout out to Iowa Hawkeyes. Number 2 in the country. I work with like all Iowa fans, and they swear that Iowa, they're the best thing since sliced bread, but they just ran into a tough Purdue Boilermakers unranked team at home and just, got smoked 24/7. I really feel for Hawkeye fans.
Have you texted Nate? Is he alive? Is he okay?
No, I figured I'd give him some time to just recover from it emotionally, and then we'll have him on the show at some point and just discuss that loss with him and any future losses that they may have and just see how he's doing.
Purdue, though, I mean, I don't even know what to say. Like, that's just tough. I'm not even trying to rub it in. Like,
yeah, I mean, I've tried to get while I live in Iowa City, I'm trying to get behind the Hawks, because it is exciting to be in like a college town for once. We're at Drake, where, no offense to Drake football players, but it's not a college football town. Like, it is what it is. There's like 100 fans in the stands, and most of them are parents. So it's cool to be in like Iowa City to see that environment. Like, I went to the tailgate for Iowa Penn State, and that was a lot of fun. Just good atmosphere, but that's a tough loss, tough to bounce back from. I mean, they could win out and still possibly make the playoff, especially if they beat Ohio State, but it's going to be tough.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you got to think that at least one Big Ten team is going to make it. So as long as they win out, but that's a big if.
Big upset. Yeah. Big upset. Big if. Speaking of Drake and college football, whatever. So it was Iowa's homecoming this weekend. And I think I saw someone post like that they're on the Iowa homecoming court. Is that a thing at Drake? Like, is that a thing in college, having homecoming court?
So I remember our first year, they did have it, I thought. And I don't know if it was even a thing, but then I thought it just kind of disappeared. So I don't know if it exists now or not. but I do have this memory in my head of it being a thing at one point.
Because I thought about it and I was like, if Craig was not the homecoming king, homecoming court must have not been a thing. So I thought I'd run it by you and see if it was a thing or not, but I could not remember us having like a homecoming king or homecoming queen.
I don't think it was a thing.
Okay.
No.
Okay. That's tough.
If it was, we need to figure out who was our homecoming king and have them on the show.
Yeah, we should. We should dig through the archives and see if that was a thing and
Or
host
the most
just
recent homecoming king.
yeah, just a quick segment, just see how they're doing, see what their plans are to change the
Yeah.
world, and we'll just go step by step there. But
Yeah.
how silly was that, like in high school, having like homecoming and prom court? I don't know. Just like thinking back on it, it's kind of messed up.
It's so messed up. I mean, I didn't know if I kind of thought that you might kind of like it because, it's a kind of related to football and, a big game. And I feel like you're kind of a traditionalist and it's like fun, but it's like, it's so stupid.
Yeah, maybe I'm just bitter because I was never on any of them, but I just think it's kind of a silly concept to like pick the whatever 5 most popular guys and girls and just have them walk across the stage and put a crown on one of them. Like it's kind of bizarre.
Yeah, it's stupid. You have to smile more than you would have been on it, David.
Yeah, maybe I just rub people the wrong way. They just don't quite get me,
Yeah, that's funny.
So it's fall. What's your favorite season, Craig? Are you a fall guy? Are you a spring or summer guy?
I think spring's my favorite season. That first day you can wear shorts is like my favorite day of the year.
You like to transition from winter clothes
Yeah.
back to summer, spring clothes?
Yeah, but I do like this transition period now. Where are you at?
I think fall's got to be my favorite, just with everything in question with football and fall colors and the weather. And I love like sweats and t-shirt or sweatshirt and shorts weather. Like that's kind of where we're at right now. Like
Yeah.
mid 60s, it's perfect for me.
And I mean, I like Halloween, and now that the NBA is starting in the fall, I'm a bigger fan of that. So it's growing on me. It's growing on me.
True, yeah, you're a big NBA guy, so you probably enjoy like that's why you like spring. It's kind of winding down NBA season. It's getting into the thick of things, the playoff race.
Yeah.
Are you a Starbucks guy, a pumpkin spice latte guy, or
No. I sometimes get my girlfriend a chai tea latte from Starbucks, and it just kills my soul a little bit more every time I go in there. Yeah, I hate Starbucks, and I think it's the root of all evil.
Why? You're just not a PSL guy, or what? Just too expensive, or like what's your beef with Starbucks?
So I like coffee. I'm a big coffee guy, and I just think there's local coffee shops that are like more and that have way better coffee. I'm not like a pumpkin spice latte guy because those like 18 pounds of sugar in there. And even though I'm not even like a health nut, I'm just like bouncing off walls and like can't, like my heart rate is like 2,000 beats per minute after I have one. So I just can't do it.
That's fair.
So, and then it's just, again, like I'm just salty because I like my girl, I'm trying to be nice and I just end up hating myself about it. So
yeah. Sometimes I do purchase a couple pumpkin cream cold brews for my girlfriend, and it does pain me every time. Like you hand them your card and it's like $15 for a large or whatever they call it,
Venti. That's the other. Just call it small, medium, and large.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, why do you have to have these fancy names? Like the first time I ever went to Starbucks, I literally had to ask the girl. I was like, "Yeah, what's like a medium?" She was like, "Grande" or something. I was like, "Okay, well, that sounds like that's a large." And she's like, "No, that's venti."
What's your go-to order there?
I personally don't really ever get it, but if I do get it, vanilla bean frappuccino, because it's basically a vanilla shake.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. It's basically dessert.
Yeah, it's essentially a dessert, and I think that's why a lot of white girls like it. It's just like a little nice dessert that you can take. It usually looks nice. They have good presentation, like the famous green logo. Like it's great for Instagram, great for Snapchat stories. Like, that's why they. I think it's the aesthetic that people really like.
Yeah. No, for sure, 100%.
It's definitely fall is definitely Instagram season. Like put on the leggings, put on the boots, put on the jeans, the high boots, the flannels, the coffee.
Go pick up a pumpkin.
Pick up a pumpkin, like any pumpkin. You can just hold it in your hands and you can throw leaves, like you said earlier. Like there's so many opportunities for pictures.
What are you for Halloween this year?
That's a good question. I don't know if I'm doing any costume type deal. I feel like I'm getting too old for it, but I should think of something.
That's messed up. That is a red flag. Halloween is an adult holiday, and anyone who tells you differently is crazy.
Yeah, that's fair. I wish that there was trick or treating for adults. That would be cool.
Like drunk trick or treating would be awesome.
Yeah, yeah, and like instead of candy, like houses give
They
you a
give you
beer
a
or
shot.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah, a
that'd be
shot or a beer or
awesome.
something. Like that's a cool concept. Like
Yeah.
especially why don't parents, if you're, if a parent takes their kid out to trick or treat, if they dress up in a costume too, the like host should have like shots or beer or something ready for them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It,
or like a
I live
wine
in an
cooler or
apartment,
something.
but if I lived in a house, I would do that this year.
Yeah. See, that would be a good idea. Like that would really get the people going and get the vibes up, because a lot of parents are probably just dragging like miserable, like walking, usually trick or treating's like at night or, Halloween day and a Sunday when, the dad's trying to watch football and the mom's trying to
Right.
do whatever she needs to do. And yeah, it's just, I think that idea is a game changer.
Yeah, and we could, contact cities to block off, streets so people aren't driving while this is going on. You don't have to worry about traffic. You're just a bunch of drunk hillbillies in the street. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think that, yeah, you could do almost like a setup of, I don't know why people haven't thought of this, but like you do a setup of like the Des Moines farmers market or any type of farmers market.
Right.
And then like you have stands with candy for the kids and then you have stands for drinks for the adults,
You could have drink tickets like that.
Yeah. Like, I don't know why this is not a thing. And I kind of am second guessing us bringing it up right now. And we're going to post this on YouTube because it's a great idea.
Someone's going to make millions off of this, and it's not going to be us, and we're going to be pissed.
It's definitely not going to be us because I don't have the effort to put that into motion.
No.
But, that's funny. That was a good segue though into a little red flag segment. So I don't know if you've been on social media much, but there's a new Twitter trend where people just say a red flag and then they put like 15 red flag emojis on there. So it really like set a light bulb off in my head and made me think of you and your red flag segment that you came up with. So I was wondering if you had any for this week.
Yeah, I do have two, but I'm going to save one for the next episode. Okay. This one is related to the fall season. Red flag is when, or a big red flag is when a football announcer or someone you're like watching football with, and someone goes for it on fourth down, and it's just the right decision mathematically. And they're like, oh, that's a huge momentum swing. Wasn't worth it. Or when someone goes for like a 2-point conversion and they don't get it. And it's just like all this recency bias. And like sometimes, right, the chance of getting 1 or 2 yards is greater than, the probability than making the kick. Or just points wise, it works out that way. Like if your offense is going to put up 30 points, a field goal is nothing. You need the 7 points. So, and I'm a big like stats guy. So, I like the analytics, but I think it is a huge red flag. People don't understand basic mathematics. And there are times when it's the wrong decision to go for it. I'm not saying that, but like there are some pretty objective, like, I don't know, 4th and inches from your like 35, when it's like, okay, the chance of making a field goal here is like 50%. And chance of making on 4th and inches is like 89% if you just do a QB sneak. It's absurd. Just do the QB sneak, then you're going to get a touchdown. Simple math.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think like it does bother me when, they just treat it like hindsight's 2020 and they're like, that was a terrible decision. But if they would have gotten it, they'd be like, oh, what a great move by, look at the balls on that guy, like to go for it here on 4th and inches. Like, it's like, come on. I mean, broadcasters should be honest with themselves and be like, I would have done the same thing here, Jim. And, they were close, but what a great stop by the defense. You just gotta tip it.
And like, yeah, there are times where you go for it on 4th and inches and the defense makes a really good play or you messed up and like, you don't get it, but that doesn't mean it was the wrong decision. In the realm of outcomes, your decision should be based on what's the most likely event to get you the most points. So
yes, I think that's a great point. I understand your rant and the reason it makes you upset. So I'm looking forward to next week hearing your other red flag. So I'll try to think of one by then. I haven't really thought of one right now. I've been trying to think, but I got nothing for you. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Do you have any grinds my gears?
Well, do you?
Well, of course, Craig.
Okay. We'll let you go first and we can go to mine then.
Okay. My grinds my gears for this episode, and I will save my other ones for a further episode, but I will say public laundry is going to be my grinds my gears for this week. So I live in an apartment as well. I do not have in-unit washer dryer. Do you?
Yes.
Okay.
It's in my kitchen.
So you're really not going to understand my rants here, but living in a place where you have to do laundry, in like a public spot really grinds my gears for multiple different reasons. Number one, it should not cost as much as it costs. It's absurd that it cost me like $4 to do a load of laundry in the washer and the dryer because
The
that's
margins on that industry are absurd.
yeah, it really is. Like I was thinking about that the other day. My landlord probably just goes like pushes the washer out, pulls out the coins, and he's making like crazy money off stupid washer dryer just because, I should just take my business to a laundromat or something. I don't know if it'll be any more cost efficient, but so number one, you got to plan around that. I live in like a 12-unit apartment complex right now, and there's one washer, one dryer. So I have to like figure out good times when nobody else is using it. And when I do find those good times, I'm basically using it for like 4 or 5 hours. So if there's any overlap, like people get pissed or like, so the very first time I did my laundry, I went down, I set a timer on my phone because I knew this would probably be an issue. It went off. I went down to look at my stuff and all my stuff from the washer was sitting on top of the dryer. Someone like
They
took
took
out
it
all
out
my stuff.
early.
Yeah. And put all their stuff in. So like they either took it out early or the second that it like went off. Because I like set a timer for when it was done and went down there immediately. And it was all gone and the person was gone. So I was pissed about that. And then I had to like look through all my stuff to make sure like nothing was gone, obviously. So then I did that. And so that's happened to me once. It's happened to me like in years past. And that's the worst when people like touch your stuff. I feel like it happens a lot in like dorm life. People just
Yeah.
like have the audacity to just move your stuff because they have no patience whatsoever. So that's number one, or cost was number one. People moving your stuff was number two. The time commitment, like having to go up and down floors to do it. It's just a hassle. And that's why it's on my grinds, my gears this week.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. It sucks. I feel like the reason it sucks though is, I mean, obviously housing situations are different in every city, but like I did not want to move into an apartment if it didn't have laundry or washer and dryer. Like I wasn't gonna live there.
See, the only time I had in unit washer dryer was when I lived in a house P3 year, and I never realized like how great it is until I
Yeah.
moved to another place where I didn't have it again. And it's like now that will forever be on my checklist of places that I move into, and that's got to be checked off the list.
12 for one though is pretty crazy. That's a lot of people to use
Yeah,
one system.
yeah, it's brutal. It's like I feel like it's a constant battle of like who gets to use it at what time.
Yeah. Dang. I feel your pain.
Yeah. So that's my grinds, my gears. But we'll pretty much get this show wrapped up. It's going to be a shorter episode today, and then we'll try to reconvene in about 2 weeks. We'll probably get a guest on here. We apologize for the 2 or 3 month hiatus that we had, but sometimes life gets in the way. But we're pushing forward, and episode 7 we're going to keep pushing forward, and at some point we're going to get to episode 100, and we'll celebrate.
Yeah, we'll have champagne and we'll probably have thousands of followers by then. So
yeah, by then it's a guarantee that we'll have at least 1 million subscribers.
Are we gonna wrap up with our top 3?
Let's do our top 3. Yeah, that's a good call. So the top 3 today, for those of you that are new to the episode, it's just our top 3. It's a topic and then the top 3 in that category that you like. So last episode, Craig, I think you dipped out early, but Nicole and I finished up strong with top 3 breakfast foods. We got into a little heated debate, going with hash browns and scrambled eggs. 1 and 2 was really bold on her side, but this episode,
controversial.
This episode may be controversial as well, but I wanted to do top 3 today of cheap beers. So I'm talking, it's fall season. We're talking tailgate season. Drinking games. Binge drinking certain things. Usually go with the cheap beer. You're not going to go, to a tailgate and sip on your little IPAs like you normally do, but so I wanted to hear your thoughts on what your top 3 cheap beers were, and we can do kind of rankings, descending order or something, or whatever you want to do. But
so I was just freaking out. I was looking back at our text. I thought you texted me light beer, so I'm like, oh crap, I misprepared. But then I just realized it's the same thing. So I'm okay. My list will still stand.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing. I think I have one on there that's not technically a light beer, but
okay,
it'll work.
Yeah.
Okay. Cheap beers. Number 3. Do you want to go 3, 2, 1?
Yeah. Let's do 3, 2, 1.
What is your number 3? And do you want to alternate? So you 3.
Yeah, let's alternate.
Okay.
All right. This might get some controversy, but it's a nod to when we peaked in college. It has to be Natty Light. has to be Natural Light. It's so easy to drink. It's like water. It's just crisp and it's delicious. And you know, it doesn't have to be a prime steak every time. You know, it's okay to have things that go down a little easier. So that's Natty Light.
All right. No, I don't oppose to that. I think it's a good cheap beer. It's usually affordable in Iowa with that stupid bottle and can tax.
Right.
So sometimes you just got to grab whatever's cheapest on the rack. So Natty Light, you know, it's good, goes down easy. I like it. I like that number 3.
What do you got?
My number 3, I will go with Coors Light. I'm a Coors Light guy.
Okay, Iowa boy.
Yeah, I'm a Coors Light guy. Shout out Nate Morehauser. He's a big Coors Light guy too. Goes down like water. It's super, super easy to drink. It's a little bit more pricey out of the cheap beers, I would say. But hey, when the mountains are blue, you know, the day is looking bright and the vibes are good. So I would say, you know, the technology on the can, it's awesome. You can tell when it's cold. Just a great drink to stay hydrated and get the party going.
I like it. Yeah, I'm not a huge Coors fan, but I mean, I don't hate it either. So what can I say? My number 2 is maybe a lesser known cheap beer, but it's Carlsberg. Have you had Carlsberg beer before?
I have not had Carlsberg beer. No, I have not heard of it either.
It's a Danish lager. And I guess that I mean, I don't know how cheap it is in Iowa, but it's cheap down here. It's cheap in Minnesota. If you go to Total Wine, it's just a light beer that's good. My family's from Denmark, so I think it's cool. It's more of a vibe thing. And also, like, you know, if you haven't had a Carlsberg, like, it's cheap. Just go try it. You know, worst thing that can happen is you don't like it.
I wonder if they have that in Wisconsin, like at their Total Wines. They
I
probably
bet they do. Yeah, for sure.
Carlsberg. Is it Carlsberg Light?
I think it's just Carlsberg. I mean, there's a couple different ones, but that's their, you know, the Flagstaff, and they're one of the largest. They bought out, I think, a lot of alcohol companies and stuff. So, like that company, I forget who owns them, but I mean, they make a ton of stuff. So.
All right, yeah. Text me a picture of like a screenshot of the can or something.
It's green. It's green.
And I'll be looking. Oh, okay. Great segue into my number 2. My beer is also green, not the beer itself, but the can. So
Rolling Rock.
Rolling Rock is my number 2.
No,
Yes.
terrible.
Very controversial. Very controversial. A lot of people do not like Rolling Rock. I love Rolling Rock. I think it's my favorite. It's one of my favorite cheap beers. Goes down easy. I got a lot of crap for it. You're pointing in the wrong direction. But yes.
Is it?
Yeah, there you go. Yes, but Rolling Rock is excellent. You know, shout out my buddies who have always talked trash about me liking Rolling Rock, but it's cheap. It's easy to drink. Has good taste, good flavor. I love the can. I've seen pretty sweet Rolling Rock neon signs. Love the color scheme. I'm all for Rolling Rock with my number 2 choice.
Oh, that is a red flag.
Yeah. Well, you save that for next week, Craig.
Hey, you like what you like. I can argue, but I can't make you change your mind, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's hear your number 1. This is a big moment.
My number 1, and this has been my number 1 since I tasted in a blind taste test. It just tasted like, you know, the nectar of the gods. Hams beer. Hands down, one of my favorite beer. Hams.
Okay, is this a serious submission or?
This is serious. Hams is the GOAT. One of my favorite beers.
Okay.
Are you on Untapped? Are you familiar with Untapped?
No.
So it's an app where you rate beers, and you rate on a scale from 0 to 5, and it's the only 5.0 I've ever given.
Has it got any other 5.0s besides you?
Yes.
Okay. No, actually, I've never had Hams, but it's definitely on my to drink list because my grandpa on my dad's side, so my dad's dad loved Hams, and he always drank Hams. We have a couple pictures of him holding a Hams, and I want to drink them in honor of him. And it is very cheap beer, probably the cheapest on the rack. So I'm going to get some Hams. We'll do a little maybe taste test for next episode, and we'll see how it goes.
That'd be fun. Yeah, we can do a blind taste test.
Yeah, so you get a case of Rolling Rock, I'll get a case of Hams, and we'll do it.
You got it.
All right,
what's yours?
My number 1. My number 1 cheap beer, Budweiser, the king of beers, baby.
Diesel?
Yeah, Bud Diesel. Bud Heavies. I love Bud Diesels, dude. That is the king of beers. At great taste, great, just great vibes around Budweiser. You know, you just like have just a euphoric feeling when you're holding it and drinking it. It's kind of an alpha beer to get, at the bar or at a restaurant. You sit down and just get a
It's a beta
Budweiser.
thing to say, but
No, that's an alpha move to order a Budweiser, a Bud Heavy. So that's kind of my route. I love supporting Budweiser. Great beer. That's all I gotta say.
I like it. I like Bud Heavy. Bud Light almost made my top 3 just because of their marketing campaign that they did. The whole dilly dilly,
Dilly Dilly was big.
commercial
Dilly
list
Dilly was big.
was awesome. So
Check this out.
that's sick. Where'd you get that?
The king of beers.
Where's that from?
My dad used to work for Budweiser.
No way.
Yeah, so he used to kind of sell Budweiser. So he's got a lot of cool memorabilia. I used to have like a sweet Budweiser neon sign, but he sold it without asking my permission. It was his, but pretty rude of him to do that.
Thousands of dollars. Yeah, that's awesome though.
Yeah, so there it is. You got Coors Light, Rolling Rock, and Budweiser from David Wood's submissions of top 3 today, cheap beers.
Natty Light, Carlsberg, and Hams.
Excellent submissions, Craig. I'm proud of you.
Yeah. This was fun though. Glad to get back into it, and we'll be back in a couple weeks, right?
Back into it. We're knocking the cobwebs off. It feels good, and get back into the game. We'll see our viewers in a couple weeks. Thanks, Craig, for your time. I know our viewers appreciate it. Always a pleasure, buddy.
Thanks, Mr. Wood.